Before we get to stupid Alec Baldwin and the hilarious legal trouble that he continues to get himself in by just running his dumb fucking mouth, I want to highlight some good things. Some good things that some celebrities and some surprising celebrities are doing. Like, okay, Rob Lowe here. I don't really have an opinion on Rob Lowe as an actor, as a person. All I know is I seen this headline and it's like, you're doing good, okay? You're doing good, and that's better than what you can say about a ton of other celebrities that are out there that would just disassociate from their kids. But instead, he took a concerted effort into making sure that his son wasn't going to be a loser for the rest of his life. He was going to interject, and he was going to make sure that his kid was going to get sober and live a productive life. Big ups to Big Rob. Rob Lowe never gave up on his youngest son, John Owen, who struggled with addiction in his late teens and early 20s until getting sober on April 1st, 2018. He was always there for me. I credit that with being one, if not the main reason that I'm sober and living a healthy lifestyle, the 26-year-old actor-screenwriter told People on Wednesday. That's obviously Rob Lowe's son, but whatever. When you consider what he went through in his 20s, his meteoric rise and some turbulence, and being in the public eye for decades, to come out as a family man, as a really good father, a really, really strong husband, and just a fun kind of guy to be around, and the day-to-day example he sets. That's fucking awesome. That is incredibly awesome, okay? And like I say, okay, it's one of the reasons why I don't drink, the reason why I don't partake in any drugs. It's because the successful people in life, okay, their success in life never starts with the quote, okay, everything started to take off when I started drinking, when I started doing drugs, when I started injecting heroin. Nobody's life story ever improves with the addition of addictive substances. So as soon as you can jettison them from your life, the better, okay? So congratulations to the Lowe family, and yeah, Rob Lowe helping out his kid. Okay, not wanting to see him turn into another statistic. Got nothing but respect for him, at least in this avenue, okay? And somebody else, it's weird to give her props. It's weird, but I guess a broken clock can be right twice a day. There was a huge apartment fire in New York, and I wanted to talk about it, okay, because 17 people died and the entire place just went up, but I never seen any follow-up on investigations, and maybe there will be in the future, but yeah, 17 fucking people died. And of all people to be covering the funeral costs, Cardi B? Fucking what? Like, okay, all right, cool. We've talked about how dumb she is, but this is just a good story, and there's really nothing to drag her over, at least right now, so she gets at least one day of good faith. Cardi B will cover the funeral costs for the victims of the deadly Bronx blaze that killed 17 people in her hometown. I didn't know. I thought she was from like Atlanta or something like that, or maybe that's where she stripped. I cannot begin to imagine the pain. And for you, imagining is a full day process. Not a lot of things going on up there. Anyways, rapper Cardi B is rapping is a very, very loose description of what she calls music, or what the 17 different songwriters call the words that they put down on paper for her. But she's helping to pay for the funeral costs of the victims of the high-rise fire that killed 17 people, including 8 children, in her native borough of the Bronx earlier this month. I'm extremely proud to be from the Bronx, and I have lots of family and friends who live and work there still. So when I heard that there was a fire and all the victims, I knew I needed to do something to help. The Grammy-winning recording artist, in a statement released Wednesday through through the NYC mayor's office. Oh, of course, Eric Adams trying to get some good press after his multiple failures, but whatever. Like I said, this is a good story. Before we get into the dearth and into the dirt, cannot begin to imagine the pain and anguish that the families of the victims are experiencing. But I hope that not having to worry about the costs associated with burying their loved ones will help and move forward and heal. Well, if it was an apartment fire, I guess you just buy little urns, so the cost might not be that expensive. But buying a lot of brooms, dustpans. Anyways, I send my prayers and condolences to everyone affected by this horrific tragedy. Honestly, it's really great. Thank you, you strangely shaped woman. It's a good thing that you did there. Now, on to the bad stuff. Alec Baldwin. He was the guy who did or didn't shoot Helena Hutchins, according to his recount of the events. I didn't pull that trigger. I wasn't holding a gun. I wasn't even on set that day. Whatever the fuck his current story is, but he continues to run his mouth, and it has landed him in trouble, and it's got him sued. not by the family of Helena Hutchins, not by the family of Joel Souza, the director who was also shot by that round that came out of his prop gun that he never fired, but whatever. No, by a Marine who was killed in Afghanistan sues Alec Baldwin for defamation because he was running his fucking mouth. Alec Baldwin is a grade A piece of shit. Terrific actor. Very talented man. He's in a bunch of just stellar films, and he adds to every single one of them. But as a human being, bag of shit. Huge, tremendous, a human disaster. Let's see what's up. The family of the Marine killed in Afghanistan during the Biden administration's chaotic troop withdrawal has sued Alec Baldwin for defamation, claiming the actor falsely accused the servicemen grieving relatives of being insurrectionists. I just want to document this just for posterity's sake, but the supposed insurrectionists at the Capitol building have killed fewer people than Alec Baldwin. Riley McCollum, 20, of Wyoming, was one of the 13 service members killed in the August 26th suicide bombing, outside the Abbey Gate of Hamid Karzai International Airport, where the processing of would-be evacuees, the very American, very asylum-seeking individuals that would end up landing at an Air Force base in Wisconsin and definitely wouldn't go on to sexually accost many of the service women that were there. Definitely wasn't what happened after that. Were flown out of Afghanistan following the Taliban reclamation. Let's be honest, okay? After McCollum's death, Baldwin found one of the Marine sisters, Royce, on Instagram and sent her a check for $5,000 for his widow, Gianna Creighton, and her newborn, according to the suit filed Monday in federal court. That's oddly nice. The actor told Royce that the check was a tribute to a fallen soldier, according to the Cowboy State Daily. Hey, big ups to him. I guess we didn't have to run those stories about Cardi B being a good person. But then this month, Baldwin accused Royce of taking part in last year's riots at the nation's capital and called her an insurrectionist. Okay, all goodwill has since been revoked after she posted a photo on Instagram that she took on January 6th, 2021 at the Washington Monument, the outlet reports. The Washington Monument isn't terribly close to the Capitol. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that were in Washington. Actually, a disproportionate amount of people were outside the Capitol building and never went in, but I guess that's really tough for a murderer to reconcile. She posted the image, on her January 1st. On her page, January 1st, there we go. Ahead of the one-year anniversary of the invasion of the U.S. Capitol. Royce, who attended a demonstration in support of President Donald Trump, was not involved in the riots and was never accused of any crimes during the mayhem, according to the news outlet. Neither Creighton nor McCollum's other sister, Cheyenne from Wyoming, very original parents, were reportedly at the Capitol on the day of the riots. All right, so they were in the Capitol, but did they go into the Capitol? Again, there's a lot of things that Baldwin doesn't know in conjunction with who pulled that trigger that day. Anyways, are you the same woman that I sent the money for your sister's husband who was killed during the Afghanistan exit? Baldwin reportedly wrote on Royce's Instagram post from his account, according to the complaint. Well, it should be pretty easy to verify. When I sent you the money for your late brother out of real respect for his service to this country, I didn't know you were a January 6th rioter. 30 Rock star, I'd go with Glenn Ross, but I understand that probably didn't fit, wrote in a private message. Oh, okay. Again, if it's from the same account, you got to think. He's had a lot of time on his hands, not taking responsibility and all. Included in the lawsuit were screenshots of the actor's messages, one which showed Baldwin accusing her of being a January 6th rioter. Yeah, we just read that. The sister pushed back on the actor, telling him that protesting is legal in the United States and that she had already been interviewed by the FBI. Your activities resulted in the unlawful destruction of government property, the death of a law enforcement officer, an assault on the certification of the presidential election. Nice capitalization there, Alec. I reposted your photo. Good luck, Baldwin wrote back, according to the lawsuit. That sounds more like a threat than defamation, but all right. He also reposted Royce's photo on his Instagram account, which has 2.4 million followers. He should get his tits out. He'd have at least 500,000 more than that, and mentioned her involvement in a January 6th, 2021 protest. okay? Royce was soon hit with hostile, aggressive, hateful messages from Baldwin's followers. No, hateful, divisive, toxic Democrats? Are you? No, those people don't exist. Those are lies. That is slander right there. Oh my God. Including one that said, "Get raped and die, worthless cunt." Kiss emoji. Your brother got what he deserved. Oh, the lawsuit reportedly said. That's a troll on the internet, okay? You can't really... Like, this just seems like a frivolous lawsuit, all things considered, because he doesn't necessarily have jurisdiction over his fans, okay? He didn't organize an attack and send them all over to her. It's like, will this get thrown out? Yeah, more than likely, but we'll continue. Baldwin also allegedly misidentified Creighton as an insurrectionist on an Instagram comment, although she was not in DC that day. She wasn't there. Her dead Marine brother was. People then began sending hateful and threatening messages to a widow and Cheyenne, according to the lawsuit. Some comparing them to ISIS or Nazis. No, ISIS blew them up. And Nazis? No, that's reserved for comparing Republican elected officials to. Okay, you gotta get your slanderous statements in check. Some users also called on Baldwin to get a refund for the $5,000 he donated to the family. Why would he make that public? If he was just like, I'm being such a good guy, I'm just gonna go ahead and slip you $5,000. Sorry for your problems. Why would you make that public if you're just being a good dude, but really diminishes the impact of your efforts if you gotta really extol the virtues of you being such a good dude? Just saying. According to the lawsuit, which noted that Baldwin did nothing to stop his followers from contacting the family, honestly, for being fair, that's not his responsibility. So you also don't take responsibility for the actions of other people. Okay, if you don't tell them to do something, if you are not in control of them, you don't need to tell them to stop, because you're not in control of what other people do. Baldwin's conduct was negligent, reckless, and he should have known that making the allegations he did against plaintiffs to the millions and millions of followers would cause plaintiffs harm. Okay, he should have known that he has cultivated a fan base of weirdos. Well, yeah, if you still simp for a fucking actor in this day and age, you probably are a little bit deranged. According to the Cowboy State Daily, I think it's worth noting, too, that his social media following is 5 times the population of your state, the family's attorney, Dennis Postiglione, told the Star Tribune. All right. Either he knew what would happen and he wanted it to happen, or he just didn't think about it. Like so many other things in life, Representative Baldwin didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. Yeah, probably because he gets sued. Like, this seems fairly frivolous, honestly, all things considered. It sucks that your brother got dusted on, like, obviously, I've done multiple videos on it, and my feelings are fairly public on this, okay? I'm just saying, you're seeking $25 million for the hurtful comments on the internet? Better luck next time, I guess. Baldwin is also facing a lawsuit over the fatal shooting last fall in the New Mexico set of Rust, which killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins, and I wanted to do some stuff, and it's just kind of been on the back burner because all of the celebrity stuff is just kind of hilarious, but there's enough of it around. But he was subpoenaed for his phone records, and then that ended up kind of just further implicating into the shooting the armorer, but then he wasn't complying with the subpoena, and then by the time I wanted to get around to talk about the story, he complied with the subpoena, so it's an entire bungled situation. So once we get to the bottom of the Rust stuff, then I might do an update on that, mostly because that entire situation is hilarious and selective prosecution is definitely on full display there. But until we get more information on that, that's about the update on that. But I'm sure you guys have probably done a little bit more research on that. It's just not front of mind to me on this. But like I said, there was enough on this one, and doing these non-political topics every once in a while, yeah, it's just kind of fun. So have a great rest of your evening. We'll catch you again tomorrow. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.